Wyslouch here. Welcome to Quick Tip 79. If you appreciate this lesson content I'm putting out, please consider becoming a patron on my Patreon page and supporting the making of these videos. There you'll receive supplemental information, access to Patreon exclusive workshops, and more. Today's quick tip, I want to propose a framework and exercise to get away from position thinking, to thinking about the guitar neck horizontally as opposed to vertically. Here's my basic exercise, and that is take a particular string set and play a sequence of intervals in a scale you like up that exact string set as opposed to position. So what do I mean? Well, pick a scale that you like. For example, the major scale. Let's say the G major scale. Pick an interval that you like. Say a sixth. And then pick a string set, let's say for example, the G and E strings. Now I want to play the sequence of sixths in the G major scale exclusively on the G and E strings. So I'd start on the first note of the G scale on the G string, namely the open G. Then I go up a sixth, up to the E note. Whenever I go up a sixth from whatever scale note I'm on, I'm going to play it on the E string. Then jump up to the open E string. Next I go to the second note of the G major scale, namely A, and I jump up a sixth and play that sixth interval up on the E string, the F sharp. Then I go to the third note of the scale, the B, on the G string. Jump up a sixth to the G, which will be on the E string, etc., etc. Get to the top, do the same exact thing, but backwards. Start on the G, 12th fret, go up to the E string, the E on the 12th fret also. Go down to the 11th fret, the F sharp on the G string, up to the D on the E string, etc., etc., etc. My basic takeaway of this is to practice intervals on specific string sets instead of positions. Being so focused on positions for so many years, I almost developed a fear of moving up and down the neck. This is a great way to confront that fear head on. Now, if you've never done an exercise like this, take it extremely slow. For example, you might just be able to do the first 3 degrees of the scale with interpolated sixths on the G and E string set. That might be as far as you can get before you start feeling lost. Good. Take that as a cue to pause and practice and master that first 3/7 of your scale exercise. Too fast? Go slower. You really want to be able to think it through while you're practicing, so when it's time to play and have fun, you don't have to think anymore. Now we're just doing this right now in the key of G. Imagine, for example, if we did it in a few different keys, which I would highly suggest, like C, D, A, E. For the C major scale, for example, the first degree would be the 5th fret of the G string, about halfway up the neck. Then you jump up to an A. Now you might start going up and find you kind of run out of room. No problem. Just displace the octave. So right now I'm at a G and an E in the key of C. Instead of playing this A up here on the 14th fret, I'll just jump down and play the A on the 2nd fret on that same string. And that'll bring me back here. So all I'm doing is when I run out of space on the neck, I just displace the octave. Cool. Now in conjunction with this disciplined, structured, string set and scale specific exercise that we're doing, I suggest being free with it and seeing what kind of melodies, what kind of riffs, what kind of shapes can I create out of thin air. just with these sixths on these string sets. Just see what happens. Don't be too critical. It's important when you're doing these kind of structured exercises to always have a kind of loose and music-making friendly zone of your practice time where you can just explore without quite as much pressure on yourself to do things right and perfectly. So maybe just put on a track, a little boom chuck thing in the background with Strum Machine, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like something, repeat it. This quick tip could end right now.